Hello everybody and welcome back to Shaw Racing Collects, where today we have another
VR.
So today, our VR is for the legend. You might want to pull up the thing. You didn't put it so it shows the screen.
Oh yeah. See, I do that all the time.
For the late,
For the late.
I don't know. For the
VR today.
For the late
I'm doing
grade
today
North Coast baseball cards.
Yes. North Coast baseball cards is 347 subscribers. He does a lot of pack openings. He does mostly baseball, but he also does some other sports. Does a lot of pack openings. He does PSA reveals, tons of giveaways. He's a lot of fun to watch. Awesome guy, awesome channel. Please go check him out. He's got tons of stuff that you can watch, and it's awesome. He really does do a great job. He needs to be a lot higher than 347. So if we can get him over, let's even get him over 350. So please go over, sub him up, watch 5-10 minutes of a video, tell him Dave Steve sent you, and you'll enjoy everything that he does. So what we're doing today is for his
Foolish mortals, how dare you get...
Okay, so today we're doing... Yeah! I like his... That's cool music. So, what he's doing is... he wanted your ultimate pitching staff. He wanted 5 starters and a closer. So, in my normal Shaw Racing fashion, I kind of turned it sideways because everybody's going to say Nolan Ryan, Christy Mathewson, Maddox, Abbott, Gibson. So I wanted to do something a little bit different so you're not seeing the same thing all the time. So I went with, let's get this back to the camera. I went with my top 5 Blue Jays pitchers.
Yeah.
Now I got to back the zoom out just a little bit. How'd that? That's good. So my number 5 pitcher is going to be Pat Hankin. Pat Hankin started in 1993, was his first full season in the majors with the Jays. He finished second in AL with 19 wins and 34 appearances, which is 32 starts. He threw 216.1 innings and posted a 3.87 ERA. He was an all-star and finished 6th in the Cy Young balloting. He also pitched well in his lone World Series start. He went 6 innings, allowing just run while striking out 6 in the Game 3 victory. He was also supposed to start Game 7 if some guy named Joe Carter hadn't have walked it off and won the World Series for us. In the next couple seasons, he was one of the best of the Jays starters in the rotation, and he had a really good arm. In 1996, that was his best year. He went 20-10 with a 3.22 ERA. He led the league with 265.2 innings pitched in 35 starts. He ended up winning the first Cy Young Award in Blue Jays history. His 8.6 BWAR that year is the second in the franchise history, only behind somebody else that will be coming up soon. Following the 1996 year, he had a 5.8 WAR, which is still awesome, and his final 2 seasons Toronto weren't good. And it kind of hurt his numbers for the Jays, but he's still one of the top 5 starting pitchers in Blue Jays history, so he is going to be my 5th starter. So next up we have my reliever, Tom Hankey.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Tom Hankey is probably the most underrated reliever in the majors. He's the best reliever in Blue Jays history. His career, the first year he came to the Jays, he had 13 saves in his first 28 appearances as a Jay. He finished 7th in Rookie of the Year balloting and 20th in American League MVP voting. He only threw 40 innings, which is weird when he was even considered for MVP. His best season came in '87. He was an All-Star and had a 2.49 ERA in 72 appearances. He led the league with 34 saves out of 42 opportunities. At the time, the 34 saves was a single series franchise record. He struck out 12.3 over 9 innings, which is freaking awesome, especially for back then. And he had a 182 ERA, which just shows how dominating he really was. Between him and Ward, they were such a great 1-2 punch coming from the same bullpen, and it's one of the reasons why Jays were so successful back then. But unfortunately, he left after the 1992 season, and pretty much that kind of went. The Jays kind of went downhill pretty much after the '93 season. But his Blue Jays career, he went 29 for 29 with a franchise best 2.4 ERA in 446 starts. He has a franchise record of 217 saves, as well as being the leader with 10.3 strikeouts over 9 innings as well. He was dominant year after year for about 8 seasons, accumulating in the World Series victory in 1992, when he had 3 saves in the ALCS and 2 more in the World Series. So that is my reliever. Next up, we have my number 4 pitcher, which is going to be one of my favorite Blue Jays pitchers, Jimmy Key. He is probably the most consistent pitcher the Jays have ever had. He didn't blow pitchers away, but he didn't walk any either. When Key was first called up in '84, he was used as a reliever. But once the Jays took the training wheels off the following season and let him start games, he had made an immediate impact. His 1.41 ERA was 4th in the American League, and he was an All-Star. In the '87 series, Key led the American League with 2.76 ERA. He went 17-8 in 36 starts and had 261 innings pitched. He led the league with a 1.64 ERA and a 1.057 WHIP. He ended up finishing 2nd in the Cy Young race behind Roger Clemens, and he was dominant while striking out 5.6 over 9 innings, which is really impressive. He was outstanding in the '92 postseason for the Jays. In his one appearance in the ALCS, he had 3 shutout innings for the win, and his lone World Series start, he went 7.2 innings, allowing just 1 run on 5 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts in the 2-1 win that put them up 3-1 in the World Series. Key would then come out of the bullpen just 2 days later and pitch in the decisive Game 6. He tossed 1.1 innings and allowed only 1 unearned run. He ended up being the winning pitcher in the World Series clincher. He wasn't known for throwing hard pitch, but he was extremely hard pitches, and he didn't strike out a lot of batters, but he was extremely effective in his 9 years in Toronto. He ranks 3rd in WAR for pitchers, 3rd in ERA for pitchers, but 1st for starting pitchers. He's 4th in innings pitched and 2nd in WHIP. So that's why I included Jimmy Key in my list here. So next up we have number 2, the Rocket, Roger Clemens. Yeah, I know there was all the talk of the steroids and stuff, but when you look at his numbers and everything else for the Jays, it's kind of hard to not put him up as one of the best Blue Jay pitchers everywhere. But however, if the pitcher was as successful as Clemens it was in 2 seasons for the Blue Jays. If he wasn't that good for us, I wouldn't have included him, but I did. He signed with us in the 1996 offseason to a 4-year, $40 million deal, when he joined, he was also in with the Cy Young winner, Pat Henkin, from 1996, and we also had Guzman, so it was quite the rotation we had back then. In his first season with the Jays, he won the 4th Cy Young of his career. He went 21-7 with a 2.05 ERA in 34 starts. He struck out 292 batters in 264 innings pitched. He led the American leagues in wins, ERA, inning pitched, strikeout, and pretty much every other category you could have. He won the Triple Crown and had the best individual season a Blue Jay pitcher has ever had. He followed that up with another Cy Young Award. He went 20-6 with a 2.65 ERA in 33 starts. He again won the Triple Crown as he led the league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. He wasn't as dominant as he was the year before, but again, that was such a great single season, one of the best single seasons the Jays had ever had. Unfortunately, he left us after the second one. Now, there's a lot of talk that he was on the steroids when he was with the Jays or not. To me, it doesn't matter. He put up 2 awesome years for us. And with that, I can only say thank you. Next up, my second pitcher is going to be the one and the only Dave Steve. There's not much. He is probably. It was a really, really hard choice between him and my number 1 pitcher. And that's, a lot of people would say Steve's better. A lot of people would say the other person's better. You could pretty much flip a coin. Steve played 15 of his 16 seasons in Toronto, and all but 4 games he pitched were in Blue Jays uniform. He is a franchise icon who, for some reason, isn't in the Hall of Fame, but he should be, in mine and many other people's opinions. In his Jays career, he went 175 and 134 with a 3.44 ERA in 443 appearances. He had 412 starts. He threw an absurd 2,873 innings. It's a franchise record that, with the way the starting pitchers are pulled out of the games now, it's probably never ever going to get broken. When he was playing, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball at the time, and one of the best pitchers the Jays have ever had as well. Steve was a 7-time All-Star, finished in the top 7 in Cy Young voting 4 times, finishing as high as 4th place in the 82 season. In that season, he went 17-14 with a 3.25 ERA and 38 starts. He led the league with 288.1 innings pitched, 19 complete games, and 5 shutouts. The best season he ever had, it came in 1985 when he went 14-13 with a 2.48 ERA and 36 starts. He led the league with a 1.71 ERA and finished 7th in the Cy Young voting. Steve was the perfect pitcher for his time. He didn't strike out a lot, but that was normal back when he pitched. It was keep it on the ground, keep it in the field. He is the franchise leader in WAR, wins, strikeouts, and probably isn't just one of the best players in Blue Jays, one of the best pitchers in Blue Jays history. He's one of the best. He's also, if I remember correctly, the leader in no-hitters going into the 9th inning. I think he had 4 going into the 9th inning and then somehow lost. But everybody knows that Dave Steve, he is a Blue Jays icon, and that's one of the reasons I picked him. Now, my final and my ace pitcher is going to be...
Drumroll, please. Adrian.
I can't do a drum roll.
Sure. Roy Halladay. like I said before, between Holiday and Steve, you could flip a coin either way. The reason I picked Holiday over Steve is because he had a Cy Young award while playing with the Jays, where Steve never did. Plus, Holiday is in the Hall of Fame, while Steve, for some reason, isn't. Excuse me. Holiday struck out more batters because of the of the era he played in. Well, Steve threw more innings than Holiday because of the era he played in. Steve struck out a decent amount of hitters for his era, while Holiday led the league in innings pitched 3 times, even if he didn't throw as many as Steve did some years. In the 2000s, Holiday was one of, if not the best pitcher in the game. He was consistently dominant for some Jays teams that weren't very good at the time. From 2002 to 2009, Holiday won a Cy Young, finished in the top 5 4 other times, and made 6 All-Star teams. In 2003, Holiday went 22-7. Holiday went 22-7 with a 3.25 ERA and 36 starts. He led the leagues in wins, starts, and his 266 innings pitched led the league as well. That year, he won the Cy Young. The best stat from that season was the fact that he walked just 1.1 over 9 innings from 2002, from 2002 to 2009. Holiday walked over 2.0 over 9 just once. From 2002 to 2009, Holiday led the American League in ERA and FWAR. He won the Cy Young Award with the Jays and probably should have won at least one more. But he is arguably probably one of the greatest pitchers in baseball of all times. While Steve led the lead, it was the leader in BWAR. Holiday is second. Holiday is also the franchise leader in FWAR. Holiday is top 3 in pretty much every relevant pitching stat, often behind Steve because he didn't throw as many innings. But Holiday is the most dominant pitcher the Jays have ever had, and in my opinion, the best pitcher in Jays history. So with that, I want to thank North Coast Baseball Cards for doing this for everybody. I hope you liked our video or my choices. Please let me know if you have anybody else that you think should have been in the top 5. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you so much. Whoops. I clicked the thing before I did it again. So please go check out North Coast Baseball Cards. Let's go back once here. He's got 347 subscribers. Tell him Dave Steve or Roy Holiday sent you. He's a great guy. He's got a great channel. Yeah. You guys got anything?
Nope. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a fucking good day.
Thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.